Hi, I'm Leanna.
And I'm Sean, and we are the Griff on TV, bringing you the epic stories from the Griff.ca.
Before we dive right in, we have some amazing news. This past week, the Griff won Student Publication of the Year. You might have heard it was all over our socials at the National Student Journalism Conference. We tied votes with Ontario's Western University, which was pretty great. Shout out to Western. They also did pretty amazing. But we wanted to take a minute to thank each and every one of you for watching. You've supported our content, whether it's checking out the website, picking up a magazine, or just simply watching the show, or checking our socials. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience.
So you're watching award-winning programming right now. Excellent. We've got stories to talk about.
Yes.
Which is the first? The first story that we've got for you from the Griff.ca was written by Crista Gamage, and they were talking about the cost of living in Edmonton and how it's kind of exploded lately. And it's very interesting because, you know, when we went into the shutdown with the pandemic, Alberta was kind of seen as like the cost-effective haven for people from like Vancouver and Toronto even, and everybody was swarming here because the cost of living was so much better. Now it's skyrocketed. How's that kind of affecting you? Well,
I live in a house with 4 to 5 people at a time. I'm very grateful because I don't have to pay any of the utility bills. But I noticed on a Facebook page for our neighborhood, and people have been sharing their EPCOR bills. Mm-hmm. And so the EPCOR bill from January was $600 to $700, whereas in December it was like $4 to $5. So the jump is just too much for people at this point.
And if you want to learn more about what Crista writes about, check it out in the link below or above.
Avery Chilton, she looked at the NHL's All-Star Weekend, which I didn't actually know about what that was until I read this story. This was actually a big milestone for hockey fans because it was the introduction of the professional women's hockey team. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it's certainly going to make an impact on Canadian culture.
Yes, I'd heard that the PWHL, which started on January 1st, they were going to have a 3-on-3, I believe. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's really awesome. Any women, little girl fans out there watching hockey, now they can watch hockey and be like, hey, I can grow up and I can be a professional hockey player just like men can. The next piece that we can talk to you about is a piece written by Zaneb. They wrote about the Mitchell Art Gallery, and they're currently showing the miut exhibition, which is showcasing 5 different Inuit artists.
I thought just the pictures that Zaneb showed were incredible. And the fact that it's not just one medium, it's painting, it's canvases, print, textiles. There's even jewelry, which is pretty cool to see. I thought it was incredible. We're gonna do a little activity with y'all. So we have a quiz that 2 of our contributors made for us about what your favorite building says about you. Me and Sean are gonna do it in real time. Let's see what building we are. What program are you in? What are your study habits? Is there studying but just like talking with your friends? Is that an option?
I would 100% rather be at home sleeping. Where do you get your coffee on campus? That's easy.
Timmy's.
I get Monsters.
How social are you?
What's your favorite color? Which student group are you part of?
Which aesthetic are you? Do you know aesthetics? Do you know what normcore is?
No, because that's a big word.
Do you know what cottagecore is? Do you know what
I'm a softcore kind of girl.
Are you sure you're a softcore girl?
It just says softcore, and I don't understand what that means.
Softcore
I don't know
is
what richcore. Why are people adding core to everything?
Because that's a core.
A core?
That's the core.
As in what?
Like you could have like cottagecore where you're like fairies and like princesses.
Like an apple core, which would be an apple core?
No. What are you, Katy Perry? What the
I don't know what you're talking. Like, why is core?
Okay, with your academia, you can have light academia or dark academia.
Why isn't it called academia core?
You're frustrating.
I'm asking a logical question.
I don't have the
clean
answers.
Girl. Why isn't it a clean girl core? Why not just a clean core?
Because core is it's what's at your core, whereas academia is just like the way you present.
But isn't that at your core if you present that way?
Not always.
Okay.
I have a dark interior, but exterior I'm wearing light color.
We all have a dark interior because light doesn't penetrate our organs.
What do you do outside of school? If you had one thing, what would you choose?
What the shit kind of choices are those? What's your greatest fear?
G.
Oh man, now we gotta tally up these. I can't do these.
My majority is C. So for C, I got Allard Hall, baby. This is my building, boys.
So I got 4 A's. So what's A?
Building 6 and 7.
How normal of you, studying at the library, check. Thursday karaoke at Towers, check. Broke, check. Good luck booking room 6201E this week. This quiz is very mean.
That's very mean. You've never been anywhere else. I go to SAMU sometimes. Next, Rebecca Reeves. She wrote a story about the stories of hope that was here in Allard Hall. And it's a place where Indigenous students could gather for discussions, acknowledgements, hope, and recovery. It was a great time, and there's a video on our website that you can watch of Erin Paquette, who is like the dean counselor.
Sure.
Let's get a shot of us muting Leanna's laptop.
Erin Paquette, he's playing a cedar flute, and we have that in the story. And it's just like this really impactful event for a lot of Indigenous students.
So next up is for anybody who's fans of Josh Peck. He'll be coming to MacEwan on March 14th, I think it is. Yeah, March 14th. Give a little bit of a presentation, Q&A, that kind of thing. You might know Josh from such exciting things as the Nickelodeon channel. I don't. And apparently he was in Oppenheimer as well.
Did you not, have you never watched Drake and Josh? Like, did you not watch that as a kid?
That was after me.
That was
after my.
Well, he was also on the Amanda Show, and that's where Drake and
That was
Josh.
after me.
That was really that was
Sean's age on screen right now.
97.
I am this old.
97.
It'll be the number that I choose to put in there.
You never saw Drake and Josh?
No.
I
I don't get a lot of the references. I don't even get, like, if somebody quotes Hannah Montana, I don't understand the references because that was after my time.
Both worlds.
I missed all that shit. I was like a Goosebumps kid.
Well, I guess
Where in the
everything
world is
not what
Carmen
it
San
seems.
Diego?
Oh.
That was fantastic.
Carmen San Diego?
Yes.
No. Never watched that.
Ew.
Rugrats, I assume?
Rugrats, yes.
Yeah.
He-Man. You know who He-Man is.
You know those paper things you see like scattered all around the campus? You know those things? You know our magazine, right?
That is a paper thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
those
paper thing,
things, yeah.
the print media thing.
I forgot what they're called.
Yeah.
Magazines.
Well, contributor Sumita Sharma talked to 3 communications and journalism professors about print media dying. A lot of our professors going around and saying, you know, it's not that physical paper is dying, although we are seeing a drastic decrease. It's just that it's changing and evolving. And so print media is not actually dying. What do you think? As a communications student.
Yeah, no, I used to be of the opinion that, yes, it's dying. But then I started to think, well, no, it's not dying. It's just evolving the way the message is getting out. Because when they were handwriting books and whatever, before the typewriter, when typewriters came in, I'm sure people were like, or the printing press, and people were like, oh, print's dying because it's all being pressed now. It's not dying. It's just evolving. And going digital is just another way that it's evolving as well. It's not dying. It's just...
It's very reminiscent of like older people being like, oh, young kids these days. Like that's how it kind of feels, is like, oh, print media's dying. No, it's not dying. Things change.
Yeah. It's just the times, they are a-changing.
Yeah. And the Griff will still be here.
Bob Dylan said that.
Who's Bob Dylan?
Oh, I hope you're joking. Oh, are you seriously not? Ew.
Anyways.
Oh my God, kids today are so gross. Okay. So the last thing to bring up here from the Griff.ca is a contributor of ours, Sumita, covered the Campus Resources Fair. What's that about, Leanna?
Essentially, for Mental Health Week, the school had a resource fair where they brought in OSPR, the diversity group here. They brought in sexual assault. They brought in everything, essentially, to help make the school better and to give out resources and a lot of free prizes, like water bottles, pins, stickers, pretty cool. It was actually fairly exciting, I think, and I think people learned a lot. They learned more about the resources that we have here. Sports!
Go, sports! Go! Tell me what game I should have my head in.
So the men's volleyball lost 3-1 versus UBC, RIP. The men's ice hockey team also lost to Mount Royal in a 6-4 loss, RIP. But The women's soccer team, they remain champs with a 2-0 against Leanna Soccer Club and a tie with University of Hawaii. So that's pretty sick. The women's volleyball team, however, did take a loss at 3-1 against UFV.
Here's what's happening on campus. MacEwan Environmental Conservation Club hosting a Kinsman Park nature walk on March 2nd at 11 a.m. I don't know why I'm going so aggressive. Explore the miut with the Botanical Club of MacEwan University on March 6th at 7 p.m.
Plants.
Razzle Dazzle Improv Night. Let's see them razzly hands. Improv Night by the Musical Theater Club on March 7th at 6:30 p.m. And then on March 8th at 5 p.m., celebrate the end of the year cheer with the Tabletop RPG Club.
And if you want an event featured on the show, email digital@thegriff.ca or click the link below. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, email us, or even send a pigeon. I promise we will try to answer. This is your part.
What do I say? If you want to be featured on the Griff, get in touch with us. Contribute with the Griff when you can, because maybe we will feature you here on the boob tube. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And remember, MacEwan, if you want to eat ass...
All right. Cut.